you can start by introducing yourself.
My name is Andy Van.
Andy?
Yeah.
And how long have you been homeless?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
All in Denver?
Yeah.
And my question for you is, do you think homelessness should be criminalized?
No.
Why is that?
Because I think it's wrong, because you don't give a person a chance. You got to give them a better chance. I mean, because they're out here, you're going to criminalize them because they're out here in the streets? That's not good.
Like people who think that you should put, well, not just being on the streets because you have had some bad luck, but being on there for like 8 years, for example. Do you think, like, do you choose to be homeless, or do you?
No. No.
Why do you think you're homeless?
Well, because I don't think society cares. I think society's, it's a lot of them out here that don't need to be. They say all of the homeless people out here got problems. But it's some out here that really does have problems, and then there's some out here that really don't have problems.
So you think that homeless people take advantage of the system and so the ones who really need the help don't get the help they need?
Thank you.
And so what kind of programs have you tried to get help from?
All of them.
All of them? Which ones have been the most helpful for you?
Really none, because it's a waiting list. It's like a list. Everything you do here is a list. If you try to get housing, you got to wait. You know, I got friends out here been trying to get housing 3 years. Because you're homeless, you're the last one on the list. It's 3,000, you might be 299,000. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And have you tried to get on any sort of list for a house in the past 2 years?
They don't do houses. They do only apartments. You ain't good enough to have a house. Okay.
And have you had any jobs in the 8 years?
No, don't supposed to have none. I got injury in my leg, toes, back, neck, so I'm having some problems.
So are you on disability?
We're working on that, yeah.
And is it also hard to get disability if you're homeless?
Yeah, it takes a while. It's like everybody. You have to stay out here and deal with this. And the snow is bad.
Where do you stay when it snows?
Use the shelters.
You shelters?
Yeah.
Is there always enough room, or
no?
What happens
Sometimes
when
you gotta stay out in the streets?
You just stay in the streets?
Yeah.
So, how do you make, for 8 years, I mean, that's pretty impressitive. I mean,
no, it ain't. You got bus drivers, some people, bus drivers, that let you just get on the bus and ride the bus.
So you know them personally?
Yeah, I know. I had a friend that told me, you shouldn't even be out here, you in bad shape. You know, the age that you are, you shouldn't even be here. And that's good.
Have you ever tried going to any, like, churches or any sort of programs like that?
I did with churches, Baptist churches and stuff like that, but then the one that people like to go to, they closed it down. And they should have kept it open. That was helping a lot of people.
So what would you say to people who think that if you're homeless for more than a certain amount of time, it should be a crime and you should go to jail?
I would say you shouldn't go to jail. I say you should get off your butt and try to do something to make it so you don't have to go to jail.
Exactly.
Because, see, something out here is going to happen. Eventually it's going to turn around, but when it eventually comes, it might not come real quick. Because we've been waiting. You wait a long time.
Hickenlooper has the program to end homelessness in 10 years. Do you think that's going to work?
It ain't going to happen.
Why is that?
Because he said this was supposed to be a thing coming up not a couple of years ago, that they was going to put all this money together. They had all this money to put people in homelessness. Nobody's seen none of the money. They lost the money. You don't see a building when the building put up. Then they put a new building up down here across on Pearl. You can't get in that building unless you had to go through kissing their butt to do it. Then you got to be $800 before they'll even look at you.
But you have to pay them $800?
You got to show them $800 that you get $800 before they even let you move in.
Oh, so you have to have a source of income.
Yeah, you got to have $800.
Okay.
They won't even talk to you without $800. Then they'll let you in the building.
$800 just to your name or a month?
No, $800 is proof that you can get $800 before they let you move in on Pearl. Across from Tom Diner.
And that's just kind of impossible to.
A lot of people, it's just impossible for them. It's not easy.
What would you do if you, let's say they made a law tomorrow that said all chronic homelessness people are going to go to jail? Would you just go to jail, or would you have any other choice? I mean, what would you do?
I'd fight that.
Would you?
I'd get a lawyer.
You get a lawyer?
Yeah, get me wrong. I know some lawyers on Havana, real nice.
And they help homeless people?
Oh yeah, that's all they work with.
That's good.
Yeah, they don't play. They real serious about help homeless.
That's good.
Yeah, and that's they whole program is around helping you.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I just I'm doing these questions because there's different controversies surrounding homelessness, and the reason I'm asking is because one of the controversies that some people write, they're very serious, and they're very they're pushing to criminalize homelessness, and so I wanted a perspective of somebody who's homeless to see what they think about that.
But no, I don't think that's a good idea. You need to give a man a more of a chance. So there's been people out there 20 years, but then most people out here like that, their feet's cut off, their fingers are cut off. But you got to understand, if you're out here, something's going to be cut off.
Yeah.
I had a friend stuck his hand on the door in the church. They wouldn't even let him in the church, and when they found him that morning, he was dead.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
His hands froze to the door. They had to cut his hands off the door. So you tell me why did that happen? He got a church and it wasn't full, but they wouldn't even let him in the door.
That's terrible.
Tell me what happened. Why was that?
I don't
Another
know.
friend, half his hands are cut off. He only got pieces of it. Tell me why that was happening. Another one
Is it because of the weather?
Yeah, because they wouldn't put him up. They wouldn't take him and put him in a place.
So even though it gets so freezing that you're being amputated, would you rather be homeless than, I mean, even because in jail you're not going to be freezing your arms off and stuff?
Thing is, you can stay out here. You get a thing over 100 and sit out, lay out here. You can make it happen. I mean, people do. A lot of people don't like shelters either. They don't in jailhouses. What you gonna go to jail for? To have a problem?
Yeah.
Jails, y'all think jails are all that nice? Believe me, it's not as nice.
Oh, I've been to jail.
It's not that nice.
I'm not the y'all, because I've been to jail.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not that nice. Okay, it's not as nice as you think.
Yeah.
It's not as nice, and if you're homeless, it's really not nice.
Yeah.
Okay, you're
I
gonna
agree.
have a lot of problems.
And I don't know if I were homeless, I don't know what my opinion would be. And but I have experienced jail, and it's more emotionally detrimental than physically, I think.
Yeah.
So I think I'd rather be out here trying to make it happen, like you said.
Because see, your brains ain't gonna handle the jail.
Yeah.
And then you got to be hollered at. You got to be done this, and they're gonna do this and do that. It's not my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think you'll ever not be homeless?
Oh yeah.
Well, good.
I think it will happen.
Well, I look forward to that day for you.
Oh, I will too. So is this going on a picture or anything?